Hey, what's up guys, Mashin here, coming back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be focusing in on what the CSGO market has recently done that's been absolutely amazing for future investors. Let's hop on into it. Now, if you will look all across the world, talking about overall markets, you're going to notice one major trend, and that's that it's down significantly. If we will now look at the S&P 500, which is what we mainly use in the US to kind of gauge overall growth, you can see it's down year to date pretty significantly. That's a very large decrease for a stock market in the US. You want to look at something a little bit even more versatile. You got Bitcoin, which is down even more. But the thing is, these are not that important. And now don't get me wrong, they are very important, but not to specifically the CSGO market. Instead, there's one different statistic or one different index that's more important, and that is the Shanghai Composite Index. Now you might be wondering yourself, why do I care about the Shanghai Composite Index? And it's for one main reason. China, obviously, it's Shanghai, China. But the thing is, what goes on here is very important. If we want to look at year to date, they're down about 17%, which is less than the other two that we mentioned. But the thing is, the Shanghai Composite Index has struggled for a significant amount of time. If we want to look at their very long graph, you can see here that they still have not recovered since what had happened in 2008. Now, there's many other ways the Chinese can invest their money, the main being housing. But the thing is, Chinese housing bubble is going to burst, or it has burst, or whatever you want to look at. It's not looking good, and it's not a good place to put their money. So what does that leave them with? Well, we can look at the CSGO market, which has returned a staggering 63% in the same time period for the breakout case, and there's many other investments that have been a similar quantity or a similar percentage, which is just absolutely crazy. Now, I want you to think back to the website UPIN 898. It was something that blew up very quickly and then once again quickly faded into non-existence for us here in the US. It really didn't matter, and honestly, if you're outside of China, it really didn't matter because the whole fundamental business was based on the fact that they knew who you were as a person and you were going to return the items. But you remember how quickly UPIN blew up, and if you don't, it's not that important. Basically, UPIN blew up super quickly because it allowed people to rent out CSGO skins to other people, and they were doing it for super cheap. Now, why were they doing it for super cheap? Because they had the original investment. A lot of Chinese people have a ton of CSGO investments that they're just holding onto because they want their money to be in a stable position where the government is not going to take it. Chinese people have had so many problems with banks closing down and taking their money that they know this is not going to happen with the perfect world Valve-sponsored version of CSGO. They know this is not a possibility, and therefore this is a stable place where they can put their money that's not going to be as crazy as what we see with like the crypto market. And with CSGO, you can get your money out significantly easier to real cash through some of these websites, and especially through Buff for Chinese users. Now, why do I bring all of this up? And it's for a very good reason. It's to show you that there is a future with CSGO. I think we're getting to the point now with a market where people are starting to think about an end game, quote unquote. If you want to look in video game terms, there's not many games that succeed past a 10-year mark without making major fundamental changes. Now, obviously, CSGO has had its updates, don't get me wrong, but if you want to look at CSGO on day one versus today, you're going to tell that it's the exact same game at the core. Obviously, you've got your 5v5 competitive, but the thing is, CSGO is expanding exponentially right now, and this is why I bring this up. We've got the major in Rio very, very soon, where we saw an absolutely crazy sellout of tickets in mere minutes after release. There is a huge market for CSGO, and there's an even larger market for esports, which I think CSGO is just about to tap into very soon. And I bring it up for one main reason. Obviously, Source 2 is on the horizon. Now, this is something that's been there for a significant amount of time, obviously, but the thing is, what's more important than Source 2 is the CSGO rebrand. CSGO is not an advertiser-friendly game at this point, and that's definitely not something that Valve intended for in the beginning, but it's getting to a point now where Valve is seeing how much money is in the esports organization and esports as a whole that they could tap into soon as they become advertiser-friendly. Now, this means a significant amount for you as an investor, because if this game blows up to an even larger scale than it's at now, think about how crazy Fortnite got. You look at that and now you see that CSGO could potentially have a very similar result if it went advertiser friendly. Therefore, I definitely think the potential is there for the CSGO market, and I want you to be aware just how large this could get. Now, that's the very large portion I wanted to get into for today's video. I do want to dial it in a little bit more specific now, talking about the actual CSGO market, because something very interesting has been going on there as well. Obviously, as most people know, the CSGO market's been in a little bit of a slump. Not something absolutely crazy, but something to be expected considering we never got that summer slowdown, and we really haven't seen any major updates as of recently, and we expect to see that real update rather soon. Therefore, there's no real reason for the CSGO market to be increasing or decreasing, but rather staying stable is pretty normal and pretty ideal, honestly, I would say. Obviously, it's not exactly what you want, but the fact that it's going on is not something to be concerned with. But what's going on with one case has been really interesting to me, and that's specifically the glove case. Now, this is Price Stalker EU. Now, Price Stalker EU was broken for a small bit of time. That's why you see that straight line, but that straight line is very telling, because if we want to look at the quantity for the glove case, we can see that it is down significantly. Now, this is the quantity listed on the market, which is something you need to keep in mind, but the fact that it is down that significantly is very important to say that something big is going on with the glove case. You can see that the price point increase has not just been instant, therefore it's definitely something that has just been picking up interest. Instead of one person buying out a ton of these on the market in one go, it could be still one person buying up a ton of these over a longer period of time, but it's definitely very interesting to see just how significantly the quantity listed on the market has decreased. This is the anomaly of a case right now for the CSGO market, because everything else, I looked at every other graph on Price Stalker EU, the only one that was decreasing like this was the Hydra case, and the Hydra case is a little bit interesting because it does contain the same gloves as the glove case, which could potentially be a little bit of an underlying reason, maybe something from another content creator hyping up like a glove in this case or something. I don't really know specifically, but it's definitely a very interesting connection, especially considering the fact that like overall the market has been like stagnant at best. The fact that we're seeing the price point not only increase but the quantity decrease and all these other factors, to me is just very interesting and very unique. But the fact that even the glove case in general has been decreasing in quantity so significantly is definitely something very odd and something quite unexpected for the current market state. Now, obviously, I don't know what's going on here, and I don't think anyone really knows what's going on here, and most likely this is something we're going to see come back to a level of normality with the rest of the market. The other thing that's very unique with these cases is they are both terrible in the ROI category. Looking at the current glove case, it's at 22% ROI, which is the second worst in CSGO, and the Hydra case is not much better. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.